Ain't nobody stop me.
Hey everybody, I'm Grow Daddy, aka Patrick, and welcome to Grow Daddy TV Studios. You've made it to our 8th episode in season 6, and it's our 50th day from seed to now. Yeah, that's all. We're going to coin that phrase. Hey, there's been a lot of plot twists in our grow this week. I mean, we've got some stuff to tell you this week. We've had stuff happen with the lights, with the watering, with the plants themselves, and we can't wait to talk to you about all these issues that we have in our grow room. But first, please like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit your notification button and get reminded when we got new episodes coming out. And if you got a friend or two, don't be afraid to share our channel. Hey, in the tent this week, we did have a few plot twists. I'm not kidding. We had lights. We have things to talk to you guys about in each of our segments because we have some really, really cool stuff going on. But one of the things we did this week is we up-potted, and we went from 1.5 gallon into 7-gallon containers. And well, we did it a week ahead of schedule because we were looking on our last video, and we were on day 46, I think, when we did the up pot this time. And last time we were on day 53 or something. And you can see the difference of the size of the plants and everything else. The plants are doing so much better this season. And could it be the humidity, the temperature? I don't know. What is it? Is it our soil mixture that we use in our veg? I don't know. But we're documenting everything, and it's exciting because we have a spreadsheet that we have every detail on. We're going to end up posting that at the end, I think, of the season. So anyways, I'm just letting you guys know I up-potted, and I did it with Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil, but I used some amendments with it to kind of help it along, or things that I think it needed. I put 5% perlite in it, which will help the drainage, and I also put worm castings in it. I used 15% worm castings, and I used some 284 and some 444 Gaia Green. That's veg and bloom. I used 50-50, and I put 3 tablespoons per gallon of both of them combined, 1.5 tablespoons each. Totally. You know, and it's all right here. If I'm not saying something right, or if I'm not saying things that you understand, it's written right here if you'd rather read it. And I also used some mycorrhizae as well, and we had a really cool Costco thing that we used. It was an old
garlic powder shaker.
It was an old garlic powder, thing that we got from Costco, and we're repurposing it, and we put mycorrhizae in there, we shake it all to the roots. It works so much better.
A sprinkle system.
Yeah, really love it. Okay, we've got Rosy, which is our strawberry banana cheese.
From Canuk seeds.
Yeah, from Canuk seeds. And, well, what can I say? She's been in her new pot for 4 days now, or this is her 4th day. And I've actually did some LST to her yesterday, and I managed to kind of, tie some of her stems down and spread her out throughout the pot. And she's looking like she's got a real level canopy at this point. We're going to try to continue the level canopy through the entire grow, but look how green she is.
I was gonna say, look at her color.
She's got everything. She's got a lot of nitrogen right now in her. She's very, very green, but not too much nitrogen. Really, really like the up-potting soil so far. It's really making the plants are really loving it. She's really, really, really looking absolutely amazing. Okay, this is Lily. This is our mango merengue from Canuck Seeds. Look how small she is. She is actually a runt. The other plants are all just outdoing her, by far. Her stems, if you look at her, there's just nothing growing out on her. Everything's really...
She's kind of dense and clumped up.
Yeah, her nodes are really close together, and she's really growing short and stubby. And if you look, I only have LST. The only LST I performed on her is just the original tie over from the top. So this would be the top, and I've tied her over, and that's really all I've done to her. Let me get this right here, back at the beginning. And as you can see, she's definitely a runt, and we're kind of hoping...
But her color's pretty good.
Her leaves have never looked bad. She's never taken on any toxicity.
Yeah, she doesn't look malnourished or overnourished,
no,
or dry or wet.
No, there's no reason that she should ever have grown like this besides just genetics. Sometimes you get a runt. But I've grown out a runt, and with enough time, you can really grow them out. I don't know if we're going to get enough time with her to grow her out to make her as big as she should be. because I have other girls I have to worry about. But I'm going to try to take my veg as long as I can with her so I can get as good of a yield as possible with her. And I'm also, one more thing I'm starting to do with her is I actually yesterday underneath the mulch I added some sprouts. And I'm going to do extra things to her to try to get her in gear and to catch up to the rest of the girls. We'll see what we can do, and we'll talk about it every single week. This is Daisy. This is our Bruce Banner. You know, remember, she started 5 days later because her first seed didn't come up, so we had to start her a little bit later. So she's almost a week behind everybody else.
She's totally caught up.
You would never know it. You would never know it. Look at her. She's huge. She's taken up her whole pot. I've got her all LST'd, and she's looking really, really good. Like in other pots, she's really, 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 really green, and she's growing vigorously and looking absolutely beautiful. And I'm telling you, this is a plant I really want to smoke because I've grown her out already once, and this is one of the ones that will keep coming back into my tent because I just like the genetics, I like the smoke, I like the flavor, and she is a Bruce Banner number 3 that I got from Farmers Lab Seeds, which I think they have really good genetics over there in Vancouver, you know, with those seeds over there. So we'll be ordering more of this because I'm definitely going to be growing out more Bruce Banner number 3s. Love this plant, and now that I've grown her out once, now I kind of know what's going on, and I'm training her, and she's got a nice level canopy, and she's doing absolutely beautiful. Yeah, looking really good. Hey, it's Poppy. It's our Super Skunk from Quebec Seeds. I got them through True North, and as you can see, her canopy is absolutely huge and big, and well, she's just gonna outgrow this whole tent very quickly. She's bigger than everybody else. She is, and I tried to grow out a Super Skunk last grow, as I've said before, and I got different seeds. The seeds, I don't know what they were, but the plant was beautiful and very delicious. Didn't smell like skunk. It wasn't skunk, but hopefully this plant is just growing at a rate, an incredible rate. I can't believe it. So we're really looking forward to this plant smelling like skunk and being a skunk plant. God willing. Yeah, God. We don't put God into our plants, do we? God, we will say God. We'll say prayers if it helps.
This just reminds me of, like, you know, when you're a little kid and one of the kids in your class is, like, you know, a foot taller than everyone else.
That's what she's doing. So hopefully she's going to take up a little more space because I'll probably end up putting her with Lily, our runt, and they'll be sharing a tent. So I'm gonna try to train Poppy to take up more of the tent for this purpose. So I'm gonna be training her rectangularly a little bit. Hey, Poppy's beautiful. Come on. Hey, welcome to our water segment. Well, we got some things to tell you about the watering and some plot twists in our watering segment. And one of them would be, look, check them out. We have mulch for the first time on top of our grow. And that, my friends, is something new in the grow because we're going to be not watering to dryback. And we described dryback last episode. Dryback is when you completely dry them out and then you water them completely. And it goes back and forth. It's a great way to grow. It's a great way to grow without having to think about overwatering or underwatering, because the plants really kind of do love it. But when you're growing organically like we are, it makes things a little tougher because our little microbes, they go dormant when it dries out. And if the microbes are dormant, they're not making our amendments, they're not turning our amendments into nutrients, which we need for the soil. So in keeping our soil moist, it's going to keep our microbes alive. It's going to keep them breaking down our amendments, and it's just going to make hopefully happier roots. This is a learning for me.
Yeah,
this
it's a little trickier, huh?
Well, it's the first time I'm doing it, and I went so far as to buy a new moisture meter, which we're going to talk about, and some different things we're doing in the tent today. I did water in the tent, just to let you know, just to kind of be upfront and let you guys know. We're putting everything here. If I didn't mention it, or if I say it the wrong way, remember, because I'm usually half stoned. Or if I'm not stoned,
you're on your way to golf.
I'm on my way to golf. But last night, you get so stoned at night, you wake up a little bit cloudy. And it's a little early in the morning. I'm a little cloudy, but that's okay.
More coffee.
But I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, water. Let's get back. Okay, I'm cloudy. Yeah. But water in the tent this week. on day 45. I watered when they were in the smaller pots. I watered because I knew the next day I was going to up pot, and this is really helpful when you're up potting, is to water the day before. That way everything comes out. If it's too dry or too wet, it makes up potting a lot harder. I think when they're at the stage they are, when you're ready to up pot, they only take about a day. So you want to water the day before. So I watered just with some regular pH water around 6.5. Again, we're probably going to put every little description here, but I'm just telling you I watered, and then the next day I up potted, and of course in the new soil I watered as well on day 40.
You really saturated.
I saturated on day 46. In fact, I probably put...
And it took a long time.
Oh, it took so long because, well, the soil was a little dry, and it took a lot of water to completely...
Yeah, they're big pots.
They are, but they loved it the next day. They kind of were really singing, and they look great right now. But let's get more into talking about this new little...
Oh, you have a gadget.
I do have a new little gadget, and I want to talk about it because this is going to help our new watering. I did buy a new gadget, and it's a BlueMat digital meter. We're not sponsored by them or anything. I bought it.
It's an experiment, really.
It's an experiment, and I like it and I don't like it, and I'll tell you what I like about it. I like that it's an accurate measurement in millibar, and so you know exactly where the soil is in it. I like that fact. The fact that I don't like about it is so goddamn big. Yeah, you've got to put it in the soil and leave it there, and I didn't know that. I thought I could dip it in the soil and check it and dip it in another soil. No, you got to put this in your pot and leave it there, and just press the button when you want to know, you know, what the moisture level is, and it measures in millibar.
It's kind of expensive too, so you don't necessarily want to get 4 of them, right?
I want to say it cost about $80, $90 Canadian, and what would that be? Probably 50 or 60 bucks US. So they're kind of expensive. Although I did notice, and I didn't look at any of the stuff before I bought it, but I did notice they have watering systems, which are real cool. They have a much smaller one.
Oh, some daisy chain together kind of.
Yeah, and you can put them throughout your garden, inside or outside the house, and they will automatically water your plants at the right time and give them the right amount of water. It's pretty cool, and I think that's a pretty good investment right there if you have any kind of irrigation going to your plants inside the house or outside of the house. Anyway, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just not excited that I only have one, and I really need 4. And I'm too cheap to probably get the other 3. But I feel like I'm going to learn how to water with this, and I'm going to be able to use some common sense and learn how to water.
Yeah, keep those microbes going.
Absolutely.
Can we take a look?
Yeah, let's check it out. It measures in millibar.
Let's get a good look at this thing. It says 127.
It does, and yesterday it said 89, and really for what I'm reading on the moisture chart, and if you look at it, it says, see, this is all one big experiment for me, but on their moisture chart, it does say from 50 to, what does it say? It says from 50 to, it says from 50 to 120, it is moist to moderately moist. So it's time to actually put a little water in there, and now I've got to experiment with the amount of water to bring it, you know, where I don't saturate it, but I want it moist, you know, I don't want it very moist. I just want it moist to moderately moist, and that's where I want to try to keep it. So we're going to be doing experiments in the watering segment. I'll be keeping you guys up on what's going on, but this is our new little moisture meter. We're going to try to keep this grow moist. Oh, and one other thing that maybe I didn't mention, or I did, I don't remember, but look what else we have. We have mulch now. And this mulch I put in here, it's to keep the top of the soil wet. Look, I haven't watered in 4 or 5 days, and the top of the soil is absolutely moist. It's not dried out, and which is kind of cool because most of the action happens on the top of the soil. All your microbial stuff and everything, it's going on in your whole soil, but the top part, if it's moist, it's going to be happening a lot more. So we're going to see more root development in the top and a lot more action. Anyways, in our watering segment, I think that's it. Come on! Okay, this is our Geek segment. Don't forget, this is probably one of my favorite segments for a couple different reasons. One, well, it got me clued in on lights. Number 2, this is another place where we have something that happened this week in the tent. And I'll tell you what it is. We have a light that malfunctioned again. It's a different light. It's the one in the other tent this time, and it malfunctioned. Still working again. We're going to go back to the point. You should have a
watt meter.
A watt meter, and that you should have a watt meter hooked up. That's how I saw it. You're not going to see these little changes in the lights.
Yeah, we wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't even know. So I have found a watt meter to be I prescribe it for everybody to put a watt meter on their lights.
$20 investment.
I've had both of these lights fail on me in less than a year. I've had both of these lights fail on me, and I wouldn't have known the light failed unless I had a watt meter going to it, and I saw it giving me an inappropriate light. And so yesterday I come down to the tent and I see, oh shit, it's not giving it 100 watts. What I had it set at, it's giving it like 79 watts. So I started moving the dimmer dial, and I kept on moving it. It wasn't changing the watts. I kept on moving it. And it wasn't until I moved it, 50%, almost all the way completely on, where it started registering more. And then it went to completely on. Anyways, so my little dial over there just isn't working right. But I did get it, I did manage to kind of get it back. I woke up this morning, right, after the lights came on. It was 150 watts, which is way too much on my girls. But I woke up and I dialed it down. I was able to get it down to 100 watts.
So it looks like we're going to be back in the email thing with Mars Hydro.
Yeah, so I got to get back in the emails and try to get a new something on here, because this isn't going to work.
They replaced the mechanism on the left one, right?
They did. They gave me a new power. They gave me a whole new power and switch. It was just one setup. And maybe that's what they'll do here. I don't know if they'll just give me a switch. But you almost got to be an electrician. I'll tell you what, if this was Miss GrowDaddy, she wouldn't be able to do it. She's just not mechanical that way. And I'll tell you what, I looked at it and go, man, I was a little pissed when I had to change these, wires out and stuff. I thought, man, I shouldn't have to do this. I paid so much for this light. I shouldn't be having to be an engineer at this point. I felt a little bit like a wiring, a mechanical or a lighting engineer.
You did a good job, Steve.
I did do a good job. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people, I'm guessing.
I would be overwhelmed.
I feel like I'm in the middle. For a mechanically inclined. I'm in the middle somewhere. I'm not way up here where I'm a genius, and I'm not down here where I can't do anything, like some people I know.
Shut up.
Anyways, that was what happened in the tent this week with the light. So I gotta keep my close eye on this, that it doesn't run away with too many watts and hurt my girls over here.
Meanwhile, while you're hopefully getting it.
Yeah, but let's get back to the Par Geek segment and what we're really doing in the tent, and give you some really good numbers. So everything's the same in the tent as far as our numbers, because after I did an up pot, I put the light at 18 inches and I put it at 100 watts. That's going to give us the same DLI. It's going to give us the same watts, 100 watts. DLI's 19 and a half, 18 inches. And I'll tell you what, our par is about 300. And I'll tell you what, our ladies love it. I may crank them up a little bit, but I don't think so.
Wait. How do you know if they love it?
Miss GrowDaddy gets me to do this every single time. Well, if they're loving the light, they'll be doing this in the morning, they'll be doing this in the evening, and probably laying flat during the day. That's when you know you can turn your light up a little bit or leave it where it's at, because they're really, really happy. And I've talked about this in each video. They really don't need a lot of watts. I think 100 watts.
What if they don't? What if they're getting too much light?
They do this. They go, I don't like the light. And of course, they're not doing this in the morning when the lights come on, and they're not doing this in the evening. And that means your lights are probably a little too high. If they're not doing any praying at all, you need to tone the lights down just a little bit. So that's our light. I think that's all about the lights this week, yeah?
We should probably talk about VPD next.
Yeah, let's go to VPD and let's get that out of the way. Come on. All right, this is our VPD segment, and I know it's all the same every week, but we're going to tell you what it is, in case you want to know. Why am I out of breath? I don't know. Anyways, I don't know why I got you.
Why do you, if you're excited, how would you describe the definition of VPD?
Well, vapor pressure deficit. How would I describe it? I would describe it the perfect combination of relative humidity and temperature.
Kind of a sweet spot.
It is, and I'm keeping the girls at about 75 to 80 degrees throughout the day, and I'm keeping their humidity and trying to keep it at 70, right around 70.
70%.
Yeah, 70%. And that's in this chart. Do you see the chart? We're where we're supposed to be in veg, and that's what we're keeping it. And let me tell you what, our girls are a week ahead of schedule from last grow, and we weren't paying any attention to the VPD.
Yeah, that might be one of the improvements.
It might be, but I remember, 70 in veg was very normal for me. Whether I was keeping the temperature up to 80, 75, 80, I don't know. I think I was, so maybe it was the same as last, but we're documenting it this time. For sure, we're documenting it, and so document it. Put it down. This is great. Put it down. VPD. It's between 70 relative humidity, and we're keeping the temperature between 70 and 80, and the girls are loving it. Hey guys, thanks for coming. We had a really good segment, I think, and you know, what can I say? If you enjoyed the show, please like the channel. Like it, give it a like, give it a smash, because it helps. Well, it helps our algorithms, but I think more than our algorithms, it helps Mrs. GrowDaddy and I. It does, because because we're a little bit insecure, and
well, we're totally needy, and you know what doesn't cost our viewers a single penny.
No, it doesn't, and I think it's going to give you. I think going forward from the day, from liking our video, it's going to give you good karma, and something's good probably going to happen. Versus if you watch this whole video and you actually like the video and you don't like it, what's going to happen is something's going to happen, something bad. We don't want that to happen to you guys. So please like the video, get some good karma going. Hit your notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share if you have somewhere to share. You know, we love you guys. I'm out. Hydro, my light isn't working. I wanted to videotape this because when I turn this dial, I'm not getting, until I get up around 100%, it's not really working. Okay, it's working. See, I'll show you. Look, here it is. Okay, here it is. Look at that. 70 watts are coming. Look where I'm at on the dial. Okay, 70 watts. Okay. Okay, now let me turn it up. Let me turn it up to 50. Let's look in the dial. 84 watts. Okay. So my dial, Mars Hydro, my dial is not working. I need a new something. So can you send me a new one? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna email you. Out.